Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Britton's Hanging Hour, episode 145. I'm here with Will McCloughlin today. How you doing, man?
Good, other than hour early and then my mistake.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
uh,
it's
the his internet kind of just went kaputs for a minute. I was like, "Wow, that's awkward." But we're
yeah,
here now.
all the fun of living in the English countryside.
Fair enough. I'm gonna let my cat in real quick. He's
Nice.
calling at my door. Get in here. But anyway, how you doing today? Aside from the internet being weird on your end.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. As I said to you, I'm a day back from a festival.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just happy I've actually still retained the use of my voice after screaming and singing along. But
So yeah,
yeah,
recovering from a concert. I see.
Yeah, but me and my wife went to the Bloodstock Metal Festival here in the UK. So just 4 days of metal and madness.
Yeah, you seem like a metal guy. I don't know why. Maybe it's the Viking aesthetic you got going there.
Yes, it's the hair and the beard. It just gives off that Amon Amarth vibe.
Very, very, very well. Well, fair enough. Um, but yeah, you write a little bit. So
Just slightly obsessed with writing and books and stuff. Yeah, just a little bit.
you seem
So
to
I'm
also
doing
like
a
goblins from the
say again,
sounds of
sorry.
it. You also like goblins apparently from the sounds of it.
I mean, yeah, big time. I mean the whole goblin side of it came from like when I get the urge to write, I can't concentrate on anything else. Like if the story idea comes into my head, I have to write it down. I have to start doing something to do with it, which has been great as far as building up a bunch of short stories and fun ideas that I can mess around with. Um, and obviously, I've also got the novel I'm working on, which and it's hard to write a book.
It is. Yes, it is. Very much is.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone who's ever sat down and started writing a big story, I think every single person ends up with that sudden realization that it is a very big task in that. But it just seems like the further you get into it, the more work there seems to be to put in. Which luckily I'm absolutely loving the process.
Yeah, I'm editing my book right now, and it's a process for sure, and it's key. It keeps on trucking on, basically.
Mm. What draft are you up to on yours?
I'm on draft 2 right now. Probably be draft 3 by the time I'm done with it.
Mm. Yeah, I'm on draft 3 now. I did Jake from Nerd Level Rising was wonderful enough to what I thought was beta reading, which I think is more accurately alpha read my book.
Mm.
I also had John Franz had a go at it as well, and I don't know if you picked up that you have one of these, but my overused phrase is a little,
Mm-hmm.
and so had it pointed out to me by John, had
Mine
it
was
mentioned to me by
Psy. I
is everyone
used
side.
I used Psy, and I'm seeing him out in my draft. And the guy who
Mm,
edited my first draft was like, "Oh my god, get rid of a lot of these Psys." I was like, "Okay, I'm sorry."
yeah, apparently a really common one is people's eyebrows, people raising eyebrows.
A lot of eyebrow raising. I hear you.
Mm.
Yeah.
A lot of wiggly Jim Carrey eyebrows going on. Um, I did Control F just on the document and said, okay, how bad is this a little problem? Is it a little problem?
Mm.
It was like 200 and something uses of it, and I'm like,
Oh no.
for a 200,000 word document to have that that is a large percentage of my book that is just a little. So luckily the word count is going down. So
That's good.
yeah,
My
it's the
book wasn't
direction we
really
need
that
it.
long, so it wasn't too much of a hassle.
Mm.
But yeah, I was like, oh man, I'm sorry, I didn't know I used it that much.
I mean, people do sigh a lot. I mean, I certainly do.
Yeah, it's true. But yeah, he just kind of was like, bro, like you use it a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know. They're stressed out. This isn't a fun world to live in. The world I'm making is not a fun one to live in. It's stressful.
Yeah, I mean that's one of those things as well. Is it like with the how to express people's feelings now? And it's like I'm sure you're in this situation where it's like, okay, do they have to sigh, or is there some other way I can show this slight despondence at their
Oh yeah.
predicament?
Oh yeah, for sure. I've talked about that with my editor, and also me and my dad are looking at it right now because my dad's like, "Oh, I don't want to look at it," and I was like, "All right, I don't know if you're
Yeah.
gonna get what I'm doing here, but feel free."
And
And
anyone who like actively seeks out to help you with your work, like I have learned that they are wonderful people, and they deserve they deserve to have pizza bought for them and everything else.
yeah, so it's been a time.
Mm.
But yeah, no, it's good. It's been a very educational process. I'll say that.
Yeah. So speaking of educational processes, I mean, are you big on the Sanderson lectures? I know. I mean, I certainly have been loving delving into all of those.
I haven't listened to very many of those. I haven't really encountered a lot of Sanderson, believe it or not. I'm
Okay.
kind of an oddity on the BookTube sphere. I haven't really not listened, but I haven't read any of his books yet, and I haven't really. I know of them. I know my friend Joe Byrne really likes the.
Mildly unavoidable in the fantasy booktube space.
It is, yeah. No, I mean, I've certainly heard him. Yeah, I know what he sounds like. I've watched it. I've watched some of his videos on YouTube. Seems like a cool guy.
Well, yeah, 100%. But I was just quickly checking because I didn't want to get the woman's name wrong. So so I actually I had never read any of Sanderson's books before. I avoided them because I enjoyed his lecture series so much.
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch them on my way to work. I would watch them on the train. And if you're not necessarily interested in Sanderson's specific opinions, the short story lecture that he's got with special guest instructor Mary Robinette Cowell, or Cole, might be pronouncing that wrong, I don't know. That one is brilliant, and actually the exercise for that lecture is within the lecture, so you can do it like a follow along, and by the end of that follow along you will have written a short story.
Interesting.
So just throwing that out there. If it's on YouTube, all of Sanderson lectures are on YouTube for free. I actually avoided reading any of his work because of those lectures. I was like, I really like this guy. I really like that he's done this. I have a very high opinion of his his approach to sharing this academic resource with just everyone for free. And then I sort of went, well, what if I hate his writing? Which is an awful position to be in. Like if you thinking, oh, I really like and respect this person, and then what if I read his books and I go, oh, these truly suck,
Yeah,
So I actually avoided them.
I've just never really been interested in Sanderson's style. I tend to like more like darker and not necessarily grittier, but I like more darker and more strange fantasy, if you will.
I would say the first two books of the Way of Kings, like Way of Kings, and I think it's Way of Kings and then Words of Radiance. Those two have some really dark elements in it, but like you say, very quickly diverges from that. Yeah. What's your go-to? What's your go-to? If you were like a friend is like, oh, I really want to read something a bit dark and gritty. What would be your recommendation?
I mean, in terms of like modern, like I like to call it gritty fantasy because I don't really like calling it grimdark.
Yeah,
But
I like that as a term.
I'll go with A Song of Ice and Fire. That one's really kind of up there for me. It's probably my favorite. I don't know. Is it traditional? I don't know. It's my favorite like epic fantasy.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know. Is it still going? Did he give up on it? Probably.
It's
I
hard
don't
to
know.
say. It's hard to say, but I like the fact that I mean, I absolutely agree with that as an idea. By the way, I would say, I would absolutely go with that, and also the fact that you can give them the Night of the Seven Kingdoms stories as like a soft entry point.
That's true. Yeah, those are good too. I like those. Even if
Yeah,
you don't want to, if you don't want to go into the thick books, even though I think that I think not Guards of the Moon, a Game of Thrones is
we
pretty.
can talk about that in a minute. We can talk about Gods of the Moon in a minute. 'Cause I recently read that as well, and I know you did as well, and
Yeah.
me and you can we can have a talk on that.
Yeah. No, it's no. But yeah, no. I really like A Song of Ice and Fire. I read the first Law
Mm.
a few years ago. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good.
Big Abercrombie fan. We've actually got oh no, she took it off because she put it on her jacket for the thing. We have so we went and saw Joe Abercrombie for when he was doing the launch of the Devils,
Mm-hmm.
and we did have just this little shelf here is my wife's one. You see, you got Baymax, and then you've got the Fallout bobblehead. My arm's going the wrong way. Why is mirrored cameras difficult? You got like the Fallout bobble. This is my wife's
I
little
see it.
shelf, but
Yeah.
she's got a yeah. She's got like a little the Devils pin that Joe sent her for winning a contest thing.
Oh, that's cool.
But
Yeah.
yeah, my wife is a huge Joe Abercrombie fan.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Um,
about fitting the Devils in somewhere this year. I've heard it's a bit polarizing.
okay, so I have so I read it after my wife
Uh huh.
and after Jake of No Double Rising. And
Uh-huh.
a few other people. So I had seen people's reviews of it because I'm not one of these people who like, oh, I won't touch a review until after I've read something myself. I don't mind having my um, consumption of a thing being a little bit not mediated, but
Mm-hmm.
basically I knew going into it that it was not the super gritty, absolute, very very bleak world of the First Law.
Mm-hmm.
It's much more. It's an action movie. It's an action movie as a book.
Yeah, that's
So
what I've
if
heard. I've heard it's like a
yeah,
D&D campaign or something like that. I've heard it'd be compared to a D&D campaign.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it could. You could definitely compare it to D&D campaign. I would say it's the best summary I've heard of it has been Medieval Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah, well, that was even. I mean, even Joe himself referred to it as that when we went and saw him. When he was talking about it. Also, just if you have
Yeah,
the
or
chance
like
to,
The Boys in fantasy or something like that.
yeah, kind of. I mean, but because I went in with that expectation of the humor is over the top and so many poo jokes. There's like it gets to a point where it's like if you were to turn it into a drinking game and like have a shot every time that a poop jokes gets mentioned in a chapter, you are not making it past chapter 3. Like you're gonna have you're gonna have to put that book down and have a little nap.
You'll wake up
And
with a
it's
nasty hangover tomorrow.
dude, yeah, and I enjoyed it. I'm saying this now. I really, to camera, I enjoyed the book a lot, but I think it's because I had my expectations set at where they needed to be.
Yeah, I watched a couple reviews for the Devils, both
Hmm.
positive and negative, and I was like, yeah, okay, we'll see where I land.
Hmm. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like okay. Do you like your movies and stuff as well, don't you?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah. So, have you seen the film Deep Impact?
It sounds familiar, but I
Yeah.
don't think I've actually seen it.
So it came out at almost the same time as Armageddon, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
basically the same film as Armageddon, but Armageddon is a big old Michael Bay, big dumb action movie, explosions, America, we're gonna drill it and blow it up.
Yeah.
That's Armageddon. It's an awesome movie. I love Armageddon.
Uh huh.
Every shot of that film is so enjoyable. It is not a smart movie. Deep Deep Impact, on the other hand, very clever, slower pace. You know what's happening a lot more. There's just the same level of heroic sacrifice, but it's more of a thinking movie. It's much more clever,
Mm-hmm.
in the nicest way possible. You can see exactly why Armageddon is the bigger of the two movies.
Mm-hmm.
I genuinely think that The Devils was written for a broader audience, and the fact that what's his name? James Cameron has
Mm-hmm.
already is already. I don't know if he has already or is already looking into getting the rights to make it into a movie. But
Mm-hmm.
it's. I'm not saying Joe wrote it for it to be turned into a movie. I am saying that he wrote it to be an action movie feeling book, and it hits that perfectly.
Yeah, no, I didn't even know James Cameron even knew who Joe Abercrombie was, but what can you say?
I think Joe started in TV, like writing for TV and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it might be that he already had some sort of connection, or it might be that James Cameron sat down and went, right, who's this Logan Nine Fingers fella, and can Arnold Schwarzenegger play him?
I think Arnie would be a little too old at this point to play
He
Logan.
might be a good Bethwood though.
Yeah, yeah, he could be. That would be kind of weird though, hearing him with that thick Austrian accent, but whatever.
I don't know. No, what does a Northman sound like? Me and my wife have this discussion regularly.
I thought kind of like, not Cockney, but, very British is what I thought it sounded like. Like, he kind of sounded like this.
Oh yeah, Black Cow. I could see that.
Blackest
I could see it.
bastard in the nine, or not nine realms, that's
In
Norse
the Nine
mythology.
Kingdoms.
In the Nine Kingdoms?
We've got two more than you, George. You and
Uh,
your bloody hat.
It's just gonna... Yeah, he just... I haven't read the rest of the first law. I'm thinking about reading the Heroes next year because I want to
Dude,
because
it's great.
I'm kind of because let me tell you, man, Gardens of the Moon kind of burned me out from epic fantasy. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna stick with some
Okay.
standalones.
Okay. So, recently, on our way up to Bloodstock Metal Festival, we listened to the very end of Last Argument of Kings.
Uh-huh.
It absolutely set us up for the whole festival. It's horrifying. It's brutal. No, I'm not going to throw a bunch of spoilers at anyone who hasn't read this because you should all go and read the first Law trilogy. But the ending of that book is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We then started my wife's favorite of the standalones, which is Best Served Cold. Have you read that one?
I have read that one, yes.
Brilliant. So
That's where I stopped. Because I read it when I heard it was going to be turned into a movie, and then I was like, okay, I'm a little burned out on Joe Abercrombie. I'll put it down for right now. But, I was a little Abercrombie'd out after reading Best Served Cold.
Yeah, I can understand that. But that was the first audiobook that I'd listened to since finishing Gardens of the Moon. And the difference in pacing and the difference in just the characters and everything. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I want to be really clear that I did enjoy Gardens of the Moon by the end of Gardens of the Moon.
Mm-hmm.
I did not enjoy Gardens of the Moon for the first 2/3 of Gardens of the Moon.
Yeah, it was a very frustrating read. That's all I'll say about it for right now.
Yeah. I mean, my buddy John, he said...
I posted a review of it yesterday as of the recording of
I
this.
saw.
Yeah.
I saw you slap that one up, yeah. Did you know... how can I put this? So John described it as all Malazan fans are effectively trauma bonded over that first book, and after that,
yeah.
it's like I can't get the ending of Gardens of the Moon. I'm not going to do a bunch of spoilers. I'm not going to be that guy, but like the ending of Gardens of the Moon absolutely had me like, okay, great, I have to carry on. I have to know what comes next with this. what's up with this tree? And I'm looking forward to getting further into it, but I don't think I could just binge through Malazan.
Oh man, I'm definitely don't think I could do that.
No.
I'd get burned out in a hurry.
Yeah, I think my wife Sean Bone over on Instagram. If you I don't know, I like to keep talking to the camera. But yeah, so yeah, me and my wife, we both read it for the first time, to then have a discussion with John Franz about it, and it was, yeah, it's not an easy read, is it?
No, it's not, and not for like the reasons you would think. It's
No.
it's just like a lot of people say it's like complicated and confusing, and I was like, I mean, I could definitely follow what was going on.
Yeah, same.
But just the many like concepts and characters and ideas that he throws at you, like that can get a little complicated. I'll say that. I can see that. But
my issue was finding someone or something to care about.
Yeah.
That's my problem. I mean, like we've just established we both like a bit of the old gritty fantasy.
Yeah, I enjoy me some gritty stuff.
Yeah, I mean we can both quite happily read about a crippled torturer who does some truly despicable things, but enjoy all of his chapters.
Those damn stairs.
16 enemies, man. 16 enemies. But I wanted to care so much. I mean, I enjoyed is it, oh God, I've forgotten their names. This is my problem. Again, from having just listened to the end of the first Lord trilogy, I'm trying to remember everyone's names. I'm just going like, oh, Luthor. No, that's Jezol's damn name. The guy that ends up with the red. This feels really spoilery.
Talking about Krupp?
No, not Cropper. I quite liked Cropper. He had like a weird arc in my brain where I started off being like, this guy is the most annoying character of all time, and by the end of it, I was just like, oh, Cropper chapter, yes, please.
Oh yeah, no, I don't know. I loved him from the beginning. I'm like, this guy's great. Matt Berry.
Very good.
He would play the crap out of that role.
Yes.
That's what I thought of. That's what I thought of when I saw him. I'm like, yo, Matt Berry, like, call him up, guys.
Yeah, he's got absolutely the right energy to just have a chit chat with a god and be unfazed.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it kind of threw me off too. I'm like, so there's gods in this. It's just going full Odyssey. All right.
Yeah, but like they're not. I mean, more
like the Iliad, actually. Maybe not the Odyssey, because no one's going home and well, sorry, Mike, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead, man. I thought you were going to say they might go home and only their dog's going to know them, but yeah, I don't know, man. A lot of Garden to the Moon was a struggle for me, but like I said, towards the last third of that book, I was all in. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, it was so weird. Like, I'm gonna try and be as vague as possible here.
It's difficult, right? We need a second one of these where we can just talk loads of spoilers. There'll be like 3 people will watch it, but they'll get it. They'll be dialed in.
They'll be like dancing around. We'll be just dancing around the whole time. Yeah, it's like, oh man, but who's that character you're thinking of? I don't know. Is it Crocus, the thief?
Perrin, Captain Perrin.
Perrin? Okay, yeah. I thought Perrin actually had like an arc. I mean,
yeah, he's the one I enjoyed. It was also the
I'm like, oh, he changed. Like there were some parts I probably would have done differently. I mean, I'm not gonna tell Steven Erikson how to do his job. He's the successful writer. I'm just some guy. But like there was an arc there. I noticed there was a change. I'm like, yeah, more of that, please. More of that. It's not perfect, but You're cooking something here.
Yeah, yeah. I thought we were going to get that with the Empress's. Oh, God, what's her name?
Her adjunct,
Brain.
adjunct.
Yes, adjunct. Yes, that's the word. Yeah, I thought we were going to get that with her adjunct as well. I thought that the adjunct at the end of it was going to make a decision, but sadly,
Didn't make that decision.
did not make that decision. Would have been cool if she did. We're going to have to get away from Malazan because it's hard to talk about without spoilers.
Yeah, but I had a frustrating time with it. I'll just say that.
Cool. I too had a very frustrating time with it, but I'm definitely gonna give Dead House Gates a go. And I've heard that Dead House Gates is sort of it hits a stride a lot quicker, which I'm looking forward to. However, I don't know about you, but it did make me feel a little bit more like the start of my book can be more complicated and I'll still have readers.
Yeah, well, yeah.
And it had as well my absolute. I mean, you had the Tutorial guys on, and I know that Rich, when he talks about Name of the Wind, a book he absolutely loves.
Haven't read that one either, so feel free to say whatever you want about it.
Rich is on record as saying like it's one of his most hated books. But he does, however. Rich does very openly wax lyrical about how it's got the best description of like music in a book.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree. This Gone to the Moon has my favorite and best description of a battlefield afterwards I've ever seen as well. That opening scene with just the birds coating all the dead bodies. I love that. I love that so much. Would
you say that's metal?
I would say that is incredibly metal. I would say having a field full of dead things being pecked apart by birds. Yeah, that's incredibly metal. That's probably like it's got to be at least one a Monomath song, a few Sabaton ones in there as well.
Fair enough. Yeah. I was Yeah, no, it's a lot weirder than I thought it would be. I'll admit that. I like weird stuff, but I thought it would be kind of like more like a gritty fantasy, like Song of Ice and Fire or First Law.
Well, it came out at the same time as Song of Ice and Fire, didn't it? They're both that early 90s.
Yeah,
I think someone correct me, and I feel like a knob. But
it was somewhere in the 90s. I don't know.
I don't know. It's old.
Yeah, I kind of felt for the Malazan fans after reading Gardens of the Moon. I'm like, I'm a Dark Tower fan. I know all about a first book that can be a hard sell for people.
Fair. Yeah. Like I said, I'm definitely going to carry on. I quite liked the like you say about the weirdness of the Pantheon, especially.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like it when the gods of a series are just incredibly non-Abrahamic. I mean, we're so in the Western world, we're so dialed in with Christianity, Islam, Judaism being like the
gods just like chilling up in the sky is like, hey, what's going on?
it's some big bearded dude, and he's just like, hey, be nice to each other, maybe, unless you do weird stuff to the butt. I don't know. I'm British. We're basically all atheists. It's a thing.
I was about to say, I don't know if that's how that works, but okay. Maybe Islam, but I haven't read the Quran.
We had a bunch of. I haven't read the Quran either, but yeah. No.
Oh.
I guess I'll so deep with that one. I'm so sorry. We had Puritans and we sent them elsewhere.
Yeah, that's funny. That's actually what my fantasy. It's not about a Puritan, but there are basically like warrior Puritans running around. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying that.
We had that. We had a civil war about that.
Warrior Puritans or just Puritans in general?
Oh, dude, he banned dancing and Christmas. We were like, That's too much. That's too much.
Band dancing.
You know?
That's hilarious.
But it did, man. Honestly, like it's like if you,
I didn't know
there's a
that.
bunch there's a bunch of historical figures that sort of unite the British Isles in a screw that person, and it's Oliver Cromwell and Margaret Thatcher. Like anyone who's like those two. I am also a history nerd.
That's true. I can see. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
But no, it's yeah, no, I enjoyed but yeah, that's funny. Forgot about Oliver Cromwell.
Sorry.
Have you read
I got real weird with that. That's
have you read Wolf Hall? I've heard that's a pretty good book about Oliver Cromwell.
No, I've not read that one.
Oh, I've heard it's a good book. I haven't read it, but it's kind of popular on BookTube at the moment. It's a historical fiction book.
Oh, okay. Well, my problem is I'm a very slow reader, and yeah, I've got working my way through. Okay,
Oh, I got that same copy. Except it's advanced reader copy. I don't want to pull it out.
Oh, I didn't get the arc. I got this one as soon as it came out in the UK. I made sure I got that, and then there's been some teasings of very very nice looking hardback ones to come out here in the UK as well. So I probably gonna end up getting that as well, because you've still got the artwork in this, but sadly it's in black and white. So I kind of like as soon as I saw like the awesome pictures now, I was like, oh well, gonna have to rebuy that in color.
I've heard in the Devils, kind of going back to Joe Abercrombie real quick.
Yeah.
I've heard that like the Devils kind of has a crusade.
Dude, it's so interesting with the world building. So instead of it being Christianity, it's like a different version of it. So instead of like, it's still got the Jesus figure, it's still got like the sacrificed son or whatever, but instead it's the daughter.
Oh.
So yeah, so it's still the papacy, which Joe even said when we were at the signing thing. He even said like, yeah, I realized that Pope comes from Papa, which is his father and stuff, but whatever. So it's still a pope, but it's a female pope, so it's a matriarchal religion instead. And it's like instead of it being Rome, it's like Carthage, and so it's an alternate history rather than it being a pure made up fantasy world. So yeah, there are still crusades, but it's very
yeah, it kind of pissed my friend off. He was telling me that it's like, well, apparently so it's not a cross, it's a circle, but they still call it crusade.
Or a wheel.
A wheel, yeah.
Or a wheel. That's the two. That's how we've got like the Orthodox Church and the Catholic Church, and there's that schism. This world has that same sort of schism between those two symbologies. But yeah, again, that's one of those vernacular things where it's like it's still called a crusade, even though it's a circle or a wheel. It's either a circle or a wheel. It's like, where's the cross bit coming from?
But anyway, no, I just thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, no, it's yeah, I'd like to sneak the Devils in there before the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just maybe like bookend it after a big heavy read. The Devils is going to feel really refreshing because it's fast, man. I'm a slow reader. I got through it in a few weeks.
Yeah, no, that's funny. I'm reading. That's funny. I kind of am doing that right now with Discworld. I'm reading Men at Arms right now after reading through Gardens of the Moon, because I'm like, God, Gardens of the Moon, that was stressful. Men at Arms though, it's probably not going to be stressful.
No. Men at Arms is not stressful. You got some amazing characters in there.
I end up reading it, and the guy's called like DF, and I'm like, this is great.
Yeah,
Terry, God bless you, man. You're great. Or he's gone now, unfortunately.
He is sadly, yeah, but yeah, never. Sir Terry Pratchett will never be forgotten. He's always out there. What was it? It's not the Canoe, is it? Was it the Canoe? It might be on the semaphore thing where they did that.
Yeah, I like it's basically a cop novel.
Yeah, basically. Dude, honestly, like the Sam Vimes ones, any of the Sam Vimes books are incredible.
Also, like Sam Vimes is like jumping up there as like he might become like a favorite of all time for me. I really like Sam Vimes' character a lot.
Yeah. So, and also like he has such an interesting arc across. It's so funny because all of the Terry Pratchett books are standalone books. You can pick up any of them, start with them, and then chop and change wherever you want. But I would say that Sam Vimes, he's not like Granny. Like Granny Weatherwax is nearly the same across all of the books. She's always Granny Weatherwax. Death does have a bit of an arc when you read Death's books and that, but I think that Sam Vimes is the one he changes the most, and it's so interesting to go through with him. I mean, how, is this your first jaunt through Discworld or?
Well, I read Guards a few months ago, and I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I made a promise to one of my friends. I'm like, I'm gonna read at least one more Discworld book before the end of the year. Maybe two, but at least one.
Yeah, you definitely need. If you, well, the thing is, after God is Feet of Clay after Guards.
No, Men at Arms is after Guards. Ooh. That's what I'm reading right now. So there you go, right here.
Yeah.
And I think Feet of Clay is after that. Let me look at my copy. Yeah, Feet of Clay is after Men at Arms.
Yeah. Feet of Clay is my favorite Terry Pratchett book.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very it's so good, and it sets up so much more of Discworld as well. I like
it's funny you say that because I kind of like how developed the world seems already. I mean, I know he had written like 7 books before Guards, so
yeah, it's honestly like so the Terry Pratchett books were what I grew up on. I mean, my mum would buy them as they came out, and then she'd read them, and then I'd read them, and then she'd send them to my granddad in Australia. So it's like, and so I didn't get the option to reread them. And then we moved down where we live now in Devon, and I brought with me a bunch of copies of the Terry Pratchett books. Reread them again over and over and over until the books basically fell apart. I mean, I absolutely love Discworld. Like, yeah, anytime you want to talk about Discworld, like just hit me up. I'm down for it.
Yeah, I started a show called The Discworld Files, where a novice Discworld reader, that is I myself, and 2 veteran Discworld readers who are my friends.
I think I saw this one.
Raph and Derry.
Yes.
Basically talked about Guards, and I had a great time. I'm like, this was fun. Yeah. We should do it again. So I'm like, let's do Men at Arms. Looking forward to this because I'm enjoying Men at Arms. I might even dare say a little bit more than Guards. I really liked Guards. I had a lot of fun with it.
So Terry Pratchett's writing style does change throughout it, and I would argue it only gets stronger and stronger. Which is every one of us writers is hopefully gonna do that. But yeah, Guards is fantastic. Men at Arms is fantastic. What's the Feet of Clay, and what was the other one?
Well, I have my copy here, so I'll just read them off.
Thank you.
After Feet of Clay, there's Django, The Fifth Element. The Fifth Elephant.
Fifth Elephant is amazing.
Wait, Django isn't good? That sucks.
No. It's
Is it not good? Is Django not good?
I mean, I've read it. I've read it twice. I read it once, like as it came out, and I was like, I think it was as it came out. I read it, and I was like, okay. Didn't read it again, and then I read it again a couple years ago, and I was like, this still doesn't feel great. I think this is too much Fred Colin.
Too much what?
Fred Colin. Colin.
Not a fan of Colin.
I mean, I like him as a character. I like him when he's with Nobby. But Fred very much represents the bigoted, small-mindedness in the world.
Anyway, Fifth Elephant, Night Watch, which apparently Night Watch is goated. Like everyone.
Night Watch is like Feet of Clay is my favorite Terry Pratchett book, easily. But Night Watch is right neck and neck with it almost. Night Watch is incredible.
Then Thud, exclamation point, and
Love
Snuff, which is the last one. which will be
Yes,
real. That'll be a sad day because I'm really enjoying this. I'm really liking this a lot. I'm like, this is so fun. I don't want it to end.
Yeah, yeah. Are you gonna do the more standalone of the Terry Pratchett books as well, like Pyramids, Small Gods, and that?
Yeah, I would definitely like to try Small Gods because my favorite fantasy novel of all time is American Gods. And I've heard that American Gods owes a significant debt to Small Gods because Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett were friends.
Yeah, well,
so I'm I want to read that before too long. So yeah, I like to read the Death books as well.
Dude, the Death ones are great. Reaper Man is one of my favorites. It's actually Reaper Man is one of my favorites, and especially I live like right in the countryside in Devon now, so there's scenes in that book that are amazingly evocative, but I can basically look out my window and see what is being described in them as well. Like it's stunning. Reaper Man's great.
Though Death shows up a couple times in this. He tries to. There's a good scene where well, I'll be vague here, but the dwarf gets killed, gets like assassinated, and like gets a giant hole in his chest, and he's like, man, and he gets up, he's like, man, that could have been bad, and he looks up and there's like Death. He's like, so you've been born again. He's like, or no, he goes like, I believe in reincarnation. He's like, well, that's nice. Maybe you can be born again. And of course, because dwarves doesn't, because dwarves don't always get metaphor, as Vimes put it in Guards. He doesn't get it, and he's like, well, I'm trying to be more humorous. I got feedback recently. They said I'm not funny enough or something.
This isn't a spoiler or anything, but there is a scene in Thud that when you get to it is a scene between Death and Vimes. See, sounds like it's gonna be scary, right? Sounds like but you watch it when you get to that scene, it's awesome.
But yeah, no, Death is I'm looking. I want to read. That was what I initially wanted to read. I wanted to read the Death books, but people were like, no. You silly fool. You should read Guards first. And I'm like, okay. I like cop stuff. So, I can do that. And I enjoyed Guards a lot. So they were right, but I still would like to read the Death books at some point.
Oh, dude, I mean, just work your way through Pratchett. I mean, there's such a massive backlog of those books that you can do a couple a year for a fair while. But man, the upside, the biggest upside I can see of starting with the Sam Vimes books is so many stories in Discworld are set in and around Ankh-Morpork. So through the Sam Vimes stories, you're going to meet so many recurring characters. Cut Me Own Throat Diddler.
Oh yeah,
he is in.
They mentioned him a couple times. I think he even showed up in Guards, if I recall correctly.
Dude, there is I think he is in every single story in Ankh-Morpork, and then a bunch of the standalone ones as well. There's even like a weird copy of him in one of the Rincewind books that's set like nowhere near Ankh-Morpork. It's great, but like and the beggars like Foul Ron and that lot. It's like meeting the cast of characters within Ankh-Morpork basically means that you are going to meet people who you're going to recognize throughout every single one of these books. Or weird versions of them.
There's also like the worst thief who they also have had run-ins with. I forget the guy's name at the moment. It's blanking on me, but he's a lot of fun.
Is he one who just confesses immediately?
No, he was stealing without a permit from the thieving.
Yeah, you're gonna want to get caught by the guards.
And Carrot's like, well, thank God we caught him. It's like, well, why is that? It's like, well, if the thieves caught him, it would be a bad time for everyone involved.
Yeah. Oh, and doesn't Carrot like mention that?
Also, Carrot's really growing on me in Men at Arms. Like, I thought he was a fun character, and I mean, he was entertaining. I enjoyed the kind of fish out of water, but I liked Vimes a lot more. But I'm liking Carrot a lot more in this. You see him really grow a lot. Dude, he's kind of he's a bit more wiser to the rules of the city, and you're like, he could be a leader someday.
Honestly, you wait till Fifth Elephant. If that's how you feel about Carrot already, by the time you hit Fifth Elephant, you are going to be.
I was about to say they're
so
not.
happy.
I was about to say they're not subtle, but I was about to say Terry is not subtle about the. He's kind of the chosen one.
Yeah, no, Subtle's over there somewhere, and Terry Pratchett's over here, like waving at it in the distance, like, "Hey, I don't like you."
I think there's even a line where he's like, "Oh, I have a little. There's something about a
Little
birthmark."
crown-shaped birthmark. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay, yeah. I'm like, you're kind of laying it on a little thick there, but
Yeah.
I was about to say, I thought that was obvious, but I'm like, yeah, he could actually be a good leader someday.
100%. Yeah, no,
And also, like, everyone likes him, so like on the D&D, like he scores high on charisma.
super high charisma. He'd definitely be a paladin.
Yeah, he's great. I enjoy Carrot, and I'm enjoying Carrot a lot more. Like I liked him in Guards, but I liked Vimes a lot more, and I still would say I like Vimes a lot more. But
Oh yeah, I mean Vimes is, I think so. Again, going back to me and you both being people who enjoy a gritty character, Vimes is a gritty character. I mean, when you first meet him, he is a wretched drunk.
Yeah, he's like pissed drunk.
Yeah, like he starts off and like you read him and you're almost getting that like 1940s, 1930s noir vibe from him waking up in a gutter next to a bottle. He's that lantern jaw, hard nose. Boozy detective, and then by the end of it you're like, oh no, he's almost got like more of a crappy Sherlock vibes by the end, where he is using that deductive reasoning but in a very roundabout way.
Yeah, I was saying it to some friends of mine. I'm like, he's actually good at his job when he gives a crap enough about it.
Yeah,
gives enough of a shit. Or when the patrician tells him not to do something and it pisses him off.
So there's I don't know if it's in, I don't remember which of the Sandvine books it's in, but in one of them, Vetinari points out that he has somehow managed to stay anti-authoritarian while being authority.
Yeah, there's a scene in this where Veterinary calls in Vimes and is all like, okay, I got a call from the assassins, and they're saying you're sticking your nose into it, and I am giving you an order not to keep interfering. And he's like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, it's an order. And he's like, man, fuck this. And he like walks out. And there's even like, he hears like a punch in the wall. He's like, we might need to get some plaster for that. That sounded pretty angry. And I'm like, I was thinking, the patrician, I think he would know by now that if he told Vimes to not do something, that means Vimes is going to go do it. And then, like, there's a scene where he's like, and he just, like, he hears it, or like, he's like sitting around, and then he just smiles. And he's like, it worked, or something like that. I'm like, oh!
Dude, yeah. Veterinary is like, pretty much always knows what's going on, kind of thing. It's like one of the rules of Pratchett. It's like Veterinary will work it out first.
Yeah, there's that scene in Guards where he's in the jail cell with Vimes. He's like, and he has rats. He has little rats running around. He's literally become the Pied Piper. He's like, well, if you're gonna go to jail, at least know how to operate it before you do it.
The best part of that scene though is what side of the door of a lock's on.
Oh yeah.
I love that because we've all had those moments where you're staring at something and then suddenly that little bit of it clicks in your brain. You go, wait, that's not how I thought it was. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm enjoying Discworld a lot so far. It's a lot of fun.
So you've mentioned another thing I love a couple times now. You've mentioned D&D.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just wondering, are you a player? Are you a DM? Are you what's the deal?
I mean, I have DM'd. I have played. I haven't played in a while because I've been busy with other life stuff. But
I get it. I'm same boat with that.
But I do enjoy it. Yeah, I do enjoy it when I get to play.
So are you a module guy or a homebrew guy?
The thing I DM'd was homebrew, but I do have some modules. Like hold on, because I like Critical Role. So
oh hell yeah, I got my I use it as a pen holder, but I've got my I would like to rage Critical Role OG grog tankard.
I like that. I don't know where it's at the moment. It's
Friends
on my
everywhere.
couch. I remember that, but I don't know where it's at. But I had the I don't usually get like mainstream D&D books because nothing against them. It's just like doesn't really sound that. Not a lot of them sound as interesting to me. But
Sure.
I love the setting of Critical Role, and they
Tal'Dorei?
what
Did you get? Was it which? Was it the Tal'Dorei campaign guide that you got?
I think so. Yeah,
Because there's two of them that they brought out. One of them was a official D&D one, I think,
yeah,
and then the one before that was it's it's like an unofficial D&D one, and it's sort of like it has to do the squiggly wording, like the nothing's called what it is kind of thing. Like I think if it's official Dungeons and Dragons, you can call it a mind flayer. If it's unofficial D&D, you have to call it an illithid, or it might be the other way around from that. But it's like that, where it's got that squiggly wording to avoid suing.
yeah. I got one of them. I forget which one it is, but I got one of them, and I would like to read it at some point and maybe play it, but we'll see how that goes.
Well, if you get the opportunity to flip through it, the upside of modules, even if you're a homebrew kind of DM, is you can absolutely just wholesale rip stuff off. I mean, it's the same with everything. I mean, you can be inspired by something, or you can just straight up be like, I'm going to lift that.
Yeah, that's fun thing, isn't it? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I'm looking for it. I'm like, where the hell is it?
Sorry, man, I've given you got a task now out of this chat.
No, but but yeah, no, I mean, Critical Role makes it look a lot of fun, and then I'll do it, and it is a lot of fun when you do it with friends, but in a different way, Not gonna get like those big like dramatic moments, so
I
often.
don't know. I've not no not snow not so often.
Like sometimes there's some weird shenanigans that happens. Like I had a play, or there was one where there was gonna be this big fight. And my friend literally got a natural 20. I was like, well, shit. Because I was thinking it was going to be like this big fight. And he just like walks up and just pimp slaps the dude.
Dude, that always happens. And
I'm like, damn. I had plans. Like, shit.
And yeah, and so this is like on your side as the DM, it's like, fuck you. I did that. I put in so much work for this. But on the player side, they're like, yeah, we win. And you want that for them.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, my version of that was I physically built this giant drow temple that they were going to have the fight in, and like I'm not like a terrain building guy. I'm ham-fisted as hell, so like it's difficult for me to do all this sort of thing. And my best buddy Sam, he was playing a half-orc called Forest at the time. He knew that the big bad that they were going to be fighting was the one from his own backstory that had like killed his family and all this sort of thing. And he walked up to him under the guise of being someone else, pulled out a bag of holding, pulled out a portable hole, and put them together. And basically, that's a D&D version of a nuke.
Oh shit! So just
so
straight
he
up like
Baez,
like
yeah. Honestly, so I had spent over a week building this giant drow temple. I'd finish work. I'd finish my shift. I'd come home and I'd work on it. And then I'd go to sleep. I'd go to work. And that was what I was doing in my spare time. I was building this thing. And Sam, within half an hour of the session starting, just kills this guy. Kills Forrest as well. Forrest dies as well. But he just goes up and just gone. And honestly, if he hadn't done that, I don't know that it would be as memorable to me.
That's true.
As it is now. If they had this big cool masterpiece fight that I had in mind, I might be like, oh yeah, I made this cool temple once, and it'll be a throwaway con. And instead, I'm like, this motherfucker. Weeks I put into this, this motherfucker just saunters on up there and just Inigo Montoya's him. He goes up to him, he's just like, my name is Forrest. You killed my family. Prepare to die.
That's awesome.
You can't.
That's happened to me a couple times. Like it's like there was one time I was gonna have like a little side quest, and my friend just had he's like, I guess he was really tired and he didn't want to really play too hard that day. And he's like, I pick up a chair and I I launch it at the guy and knock him out, and then we move past. I was like, all right.
But that's the thing, man. I mean, you know, it's Indiana Jones. You know, it's the he Harrison Ford had a cold that day. They were supposed to have a fight between a whip and a sword, and I said, I'm just going to shoot him. Iconic.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I mean, I love that. And there's also, and what's the other classic one? The only good scene in the Street Fighter movie. You were this one where I can't remember his name. The Raoul something. The guy who played he played Gomez Adams as well. He's speaking to Chun-Li, and Chun-Li's whole backstory is that M. Bison he killed a whole village and this sort of thing, and she's telling him this, expecting him to have some big reaction, and he turns to her, drink in hand, and says, "The day that M. Bison came to your village was the most important day of your life. To me, it was a Thursday."
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Whoa.
Wow, what a terrible guy.
yeah. But like, it's you know, it's these things where it's like these throwaway-ish moments, and it's like they're so iconic because it's that lack of fucks that just fuck it.
That's funny that your friend was just like, well, kill my family. Guess you're gonna have to get going. Stabs him.
Yeah, just gone. And they were like, "What's next?" I'm like, "Well, Forrest is dead, and I don't know."
You want to explore the temple? Dungeon crawl?
Yeah, exactly. It's immediate. No, because they just oh god no. So after that, they teleportation circled out of there. That was the end of it. It was like weeks of preparation.
It just went out the window. Oh man,
You love it though. I mean, that's the thing with D&D. It's like, you know, you if it's in person, you sat around a table with a bunch of minis, consuming way too many caffeinated beverages, and at the end of it, you've all got this weird shared hallucination that you've enjoyed. You know, and you don't. I just don't know that there's anything else where you get that experience.
Yeah, it's an interesting. It's an interesting game because I've had a friend describe it kind of like if you have really good people involved, it can kind of be like an acting troupe in a weird way.
Oh, yeah, and it makes it hyper immersive as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we had the BookTube game that
Yeah, I was gonna be like, you were the guy who ran that, right?
Yeah, the first
I don't know
one,
why I blanked on that, but yeah, I'm like, you were the guy who ran that. Why did I forget that? I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, the first one. Yeah, that was great fun. My internet connection was terrible, and I didn't have a good microphone as well. So anyone who sat through the barely audible dialogue on my part is I'm grateful for. That was incredible. I mean, so let's use that one as the example then. I mean, at the end of that, Jake's character makes a clutch purse out of severed hands. Jake's character makes a clutch purse out of severed hands. That is an insane sentence. That is a completely insane sentence.
Wasn't Brian's character constantly like stealing stuff? Wasn't that like the running gag? He was constantly stealing stuff. Yeah. His sleight of hand must have been insane.
Oh yeah, well it'd be classic Road. And John from Talking Story, his character for whatever reason had like a +3 greatsword. We just sort of rolled with it. We were like, yeah, sure, why not? It was a very unserious game, but it was very, very fun to run. Yeah, I've run that scenario. I've run that scenario before, and that it's never gone that way before. it's never had the world's most charismatic greatsword wielding bard just sort of saunter in and just pretend to be someone else and confuse the ogre to the point of just, I guess I'll punch this guy.
Makes me, kind of going back to Discworld, makes me think of one of my favorite scenes is the bar fight when Carrot runs in to the dwarf bar and is like, what are you guys doing? Huh? Like, we're dwarves. We're better than... What? And
he just tells him off, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's like, we're dwarves. We're supposed to be better than this. But like, what would your mothers think? And then they start crying. I was like, this is great.
I thought you were going to talk about the other bar fight in that book where a character goes in and just batters everyone.
Oh yeah, that's a great scene too. When he just like runs in and just starts fighting people.
They walk in because this is back when Detritus the troll is just I think they called him a splatter rather than a bouncer, because when he hits them they don't bounce.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like Detritus is there on the ground like rubbing his jaw. It's just like that human did this. What the hell? That's so good.
Yeah, no, it's
Detritus is 100% my inspiration for every single ogre that I ever run in D&D.
Yeah, I mean, Detritus is fun. Though I was about to say it is kind of the whole when he says Detritus, stop it, stop, don't salute. That's kind of. I was like, okay.
He keeps going too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Peacemaker is an interesting addition to Detritus's character.
But yeah, going back to D&D, yeah, it's always the like weird random moments that kind of stick out for whatever reason.
Well, I mean, like you said about like Critical Role, I mean, one of the greatest moments in all of Critical Role is Scanlan on his own attacking an entire house full of bad guys, and it's at no point when you're watching it. If you're sat there and you're watching the live play of it.
Mm-hmm.
You are on the edge of your seat because you're like, he's gonna die at any moment, and it's so insane. Everyone at the table, there is only during that whole thing, right? It's the scenario that you kind of never want as a DM, where you've got one player doing stuff and everyone else at the table watching. You never want that as a DM, but it is so.
It's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, but it's so damn engaging because of Sam Riegel being the world's most charismatic square cube penis gnome, that like you can't not love every second of it. I mean, it is a Scanlan rampage.
Yeah. Sam Riegel is a walking charisma bomb. He's up there with John Minton.
Yeah, 100%. It's just, I love that. Oh, speaking of the Mintons, I mean, have you read the Discovery yet?
I did. Yeah, it's very good. You know, it's kind of funny. I read Gardens of the Moon, and I'm like, hold on a minute. Discovery does a similar thing that this book's doing, but Discovery did it a lot better, I thought.
Oh man, you heard it here first.
Yeah, that's my hot take for the evening. That's my hot take for the afternoon.
The hot take of this one: Discovery, Gardens of the Moon.
Yeah, no,
love it.
No,
I need to get around to it because as soon as I saw the trailer for what had he made it in?
All joking aside, I thought it was a good book. Probably don't watch my conversation with the Mittens because we spoil the whole thing. But well, unless you've read the book, I don't mind spoilers. Read the book and then watch it. If you care about spoilers anyway, maybe you're like Will and don't care all that much.
I have an opinion on that. Okay, have you ever watched the show Columbo?
That's funny you say that. My ex-girlfriend, her mom loved Columbo. So yeah, I would watch Columbo sometimes when I went over to her house.
Okay. The first scene of every single Columbo episode or movie, I'm not really sure how you classify them because they're very long, but the first scene tells you who the murderer is and how they did it. The rest of the show is him working that out. So it starts with a spoiler. The rest of the show is just a clever character going through the process. So I don't believe in spoilers for that exact reason. If it's like a giant twist, then I can. You're an arsehole if you spoil a twist. You know?
Like, oh, buy it.
But if it's just,
like, oh, Baez.
Say again, sir?
Yeah. I said Baez from. I'll just say that and not say anymore.
Yeah. Seriously, in the first Law series, at the end, you find out that Baez is actually. Yeah, I didn't actually do it.
I was about to say a massive jerk. Well, he was already kind of a massive jerk, and before they were hanged as well. So, yeah.
Listen, he just wants his tea. All right, he wants his tea.
He loves that tea. The whole,
Loves, he
like,
just
there
wants
could
to.
be a whole battle going on, and he's drinking the tea. He's just chugging it down.
Yeah. I can't wait for you to read Heroes.
Yeah, I heard he's in there.
Now that you said that, dude. Now that you said that, he's just. Was it what you said just then? He's just drinking the tea while there's a whole battle going on. Honestly, read Heroes. Oh my god, that exact scenario.
I was about to say that's about what happens.
The whole book of Heroes is like set like during a giant pitched battle, and it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And Baez drinks tea.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
Genuinely amazing. It's my favorite of the standalone books. My wife's favorite is Best Served Cold because she's a massive fan of Cole Shivers.
Mm.
I
Shivers
love
in Hero. I've heard Shivers is in Heroes too.
Yeah, he's in all three.
Oh,
he's in all. So those three, the standalones, which I think they're referred to as the Great Leveler books.
Mm.
He's in all three. He's in all three of those. And yeah, as you know from Best Served Cold, he goes through it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Heroes is my favorite of those ones because it's just so. It's military fantasy done incredibly well by a guy who is known for his characters.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing that I find so impressive about it. If you said to someone, what is Joe Abercrombie good at, and you gave a great big list of things, you're not going to go, oh yeah, he's amazing at magic systems. He doesn't do that. It's a soft magic system with like a few rules that you can sort of work out. You're gonna say his character and his world building are really good, but it's the fact that he does a military fantasy.
I'm looking forward to the Heroes, man. I've heard some people say it's like his best one.
Yeah, my wife doesn't like it. Well, she does. It's her least favorite of his books, I should say.
So that means it's still pretty good.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think Sean would ever be like, oh, an Abercrombie book is bad. The Devils is probably her lowest rated of them, and I think that's just because she had different expectations than she should have done. Like I said, The Devils is a big dumb action movie, but in the best way.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I said to you, oh, do you want to watch Fast and the Furious? If you're in the mood for that first one, yeah, man, you're gonna watch that. It's great.
Yeah, I was about to say those first couple are pretty good. It's when they like start going to space. I was like, okay, like you're jumping the shark a bit.
It's completely preposterous at that point. But like, can you enjoy Fast and Furious on a Tuesday and then on Thursday be like, do you know what? I'm feeling a bit emotional. I'm going to watch Green Mile. I'm going to have a little cry at John Coffey. Yeah, 100%. You can have that divergence. There's no reason not to.
That's a good point.
Yeah. That's what I do. I bring good points.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. I guess it depends. I was watching. I don't know how much video game content you watch or if you play video games, but sometimes I'll watch the Vanoss crew for nostalgia's sake, and sometimes it's fun entertainment. Like sometimes you just need to,
Yeah,
I love my deep soul searching, but sometimes you just need some fun entertainment to blow off some steam.
For sure. I mean, I'm very weird with video games. I play 3.
Uh-huh.
I play Skyrim, Minecraft, and Crusader Kings. I don't know what that says about me.
I mean, I just like Skyrim. I just mod the shit out of my characters and just explore the world. So, dude,
I watched the Spiffing Brit play the 1,000 mods modded Skyrim, and it was really good. So I decided to try and do that as well. And man, I have a laptop. It sounded like it was trying to take off.
Oh no!
Like we live on the flight path for an army base. So quite often we'll have a Chinook fly over, and I swear, man, the laptop was louder.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just gonna quickly pop to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, I can cut this part out.
I'm just trying to read the books along that back shelf there.
Oh yeah. Some of them are comics. So.
Yeah, I guess that one. But the 3 white ones, I'm assuming, are like anthologies.
Yeah, it's a series called Invincible. Which
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
yep,
the
yep.
cartoon back. Yeah.
I was about to say you may have heard of the show. That's where it comes from. Those big giant
Hell yeah.
phone books over there. Yeah. Yeah. No. All right. Check to see where I'll cut it off or not cut it off, but like cut some of the stuff out for later.
Yeah, sure.
When I edit this, because sometimes I'll edit it when I'm like, I need to take a piss. And I can, I can only hold off for so long. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, we were talking about sometimes you just like that entertainment.
Yeah, I think we diverged to gaming at that point.
Oh yeah, Skyrim. That's right.
I love Skyrim.
But yeah, I just like the mod stuff and just explore the world. It's fun.
Yeah, see, I like modding Skyrim, but I won't mod Minecraft. I like vanilla Minecraft.
Yeah, I like Minecraft as well. Sometimes I'll just go on and just build a bunch of stuff. It's a lot of fun. Or just
I always like playing on. Go ahead.
Or just play full survival mode and try to build.
That's what I like doing.
Build a house.
Yeah, I like going on. I like doing the hardcore survival Minecraft because it's just I love the consequences of it. Again, going back to the D&D thing, I love the fact that your actions have consequences. In a good story, in a game that's run by a DM that's a bit confident, the actions of the players will always have like ongoing consequences, I think, and that really helps with the buy-in of the game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the phrase that I always use is for my D&D games is the choices are infinite, but the consequences are mandatory. So there's no getting away from saying something insane and having to deal with the actions of that statement.
So if you call like a dwarf, I don't know, little knobby or something, they'll be like, "Hey."
Could be.
Sends assassins.
Or like as a very common one, if the first time players meet nobility or something, they might misunderstand what that means. They might think that a noble person is going to be, "Oh my, how dare you offend me in such a manner." But in the reality of the situation is that if you've got a D&D game that's set in a medieval time, the nobility were the people who controlled armies.
Oh no. So they'll just send an army after you?
Well, I mean, potentially, yeah. I mean, but they're in those sorts of times, their authority was enforced through violence and through armies and that sort of thing. But if your D&D setting is based on on a feudal setting, a feudal medieval setting, then man, if you start popping off at the nobility, then you're gonna have a really rough time because they're the ones who've got the heavy purses.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite ones. Is if you've got a murder hobo as a player.
No.
There's a real fun way to teach them that lesson of you shouldn't do this, and that's just put a bounty on their head. If the next town they go in, if you've got a party of 4 players, right,
mm-hmm.
and there's one player, and they are just horrible to NPCs.
No.
They've killed a shopkeeper. They've threatened a mayor. If the next town that they go into has that guy's face on a wanted poster and a bounty of 4,000 gold pieces on it, well, the party's going to have a few reactions to that. They might turn to that person in character now rather than player to player and say, "You need to stop doing this, and you might need to go back to that town and apologize to that person." That's one option. Another option, they could be like, "Okay, well, we're wanted now, so we have to leave this area." There's another option. The third option, which I've had happen at the table and I was completely fine with, was they sort of realized that this guy's worth more to them dead than alive, and they turned him in. The player wasn't. They didn't just like beat the crap out of the player's character in front. They had the conversation as players, And the player who had gotten the bounty on his head was like, "Look, I'm sorry, I don't want to, I don't want to keep playing this character if it's going to be an issue for the group." Or else he made a new character. They turned in this guy who was now wanted, and he made a new character to join the party. But like, he learned the lesson of don't be a murder hobo.
Yeah, it's I try to discourage murder hoboing around. Though I've played I've not played any murder hobo characters. I try to, be somewhat ethical. But I have played with people who've played murder hobo characters. It can be kind of a hassle sometimes. You're just like, dude, like calm down.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I had so my players luckily have mostly been really, really good at making characters who engage with the world and act somewhat like a person would, And I foolishly had a mini evil campaign as a campaign break in one of my campaigns, and oh boy. So I set the mini evil campaign within the same campaign
they turn into
world.
like a Mongol horde and just start murdering everybody.
Dude, they burned down a whole town.
Oh no.
I'm the sort of DM where I will make a world map and stuff, and
were you just like, dude, what are you doing? Like,
at the end of that session, I asked them to hand me their map because I'd made like a big rollout map. They handed me it. I took a pen and I crossed out the town and handed it back to them. And I said, I hope you realize that town is within 30 miles of where your main characters are right now. And they were all like, oh shit.
Oh no.
Yeah. But it was so much fun. And man, they were so evil. Terrible people. It was great. They one of them stabbed the other one. They were kind of cool with it. They were just that rough, They only played like.
Are you talking shit? Races. Just stabs.
Basically, yeah. They were like there to establish it. It was so they had a half orc. They had a half orc fighter, and a full orc, paladin of Grumsh. Yeah, it was great though because they were like, oh, I want to play an evil paladin, and I said. They said they wanted to play an evil paladin orc, and I said that sounds amazing. What god do you want to go for? And they were like, oh, the main one. I want to Grumsh One Eye, and I'm like, okay. So on your character sheet, can you just drop your perception down? And they were like, why? And I said, because in this world, if you want to be like the guys who really, really worship Grumsh One Eye, you need to match him.
Why is his perception bad?
Yeah, man, he's only got one eye.
Oh well, that's fair.
So part of that character's like proving their dedication to the
when he cut out his eye,
literally popping out their own eye, man.
Oh shit!
It was sick, and they loved it. They loved that they had to make that like that. Oh, if I do pick this god, I have to drop my perception down. And they're like, well, what do I get as a benefit to it? And I was just like, dude, it's the god of orcs. This is going to be, they're like. I'm done. I'm in. And they just immediately did it, and they talked through how like when they first did. So when this one-eyed orc battle priest met this half orc fighter who was like raised by like people and mercenaries and stuff, they had to find out who was top orc. So they ended up actually having just to brawl. The half orc stabbed the other one and was like, all right, yeah, I respect you now. That's great.
Hopefully he didn't die.
No, he didn't, but like it was a close fight. It was like this might end really quickly, but this is great.
I was about to say, from what I've heard, fights tend to end pretty quickly, Or at least martial combat like that, or at least they can. I don't know.
Yeah, if it's martial, it's really quite quick. As soon as it spells, it goes mad. It probably would have ended a lot quicker if the guy playing the paladin hadn't agreed to not use magic, which was a terrible idea. But
that admittedly, ironically enough, is I find my least favorite part of D&D is the combat, because it's like, okay, now it's your turn to do something. He's like, okay, yeah. I fling a spell at him. It's like, okay, is that your action? And you're like, pretty much. It's like, all right, go nuts. Okay, you. And it just does that. And I find it a bit monotonous. Not really the DM's fault, but, it's just kind of how it's...
I mean, it's on the DM and it's on the player, though. I mean, there's ways to narrate the action. I mean, like, so, say we were playing a game or something right now, and you said, okay, I want to hit that guy with a spell. If that's the entirety of what you want to do with your go, fair enough. But maybe narrate how you send the spell off. I think Liam in Critical Role Campaign 2, when he's playing Caleb Widogast, he does an amazing job of that. He describes every time he sends a spell off, he describes how his character sends it off, kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
That makes it more evocative straight away, because you're getting that description from the player of how their spell looks. And I think the onus from that point turns to the DM, because you can't have, a slightly arrogant point of view here, but like, you can't have the player outdoing your descriptions. You have the goddamn DM. If you as the player have just gone, right, yeah, I'm going to cast Fireball, and I just cast it. Big eruption of fire, and it's really cool. You feel the heat waves. The waves from the heat blows your hair back for a second. Cool, I've done a better description than you. Let's move on. If you as the player say, I cast Scorching Ray, and you watch as 3 orbs of fire expand in my hand into jets of flame, and they hit this guy, and this guy, and this happens, and this happens. As soon as I take over as the DM, oh my god, this guy does like a classic Wilhelm scream. Ah! You got to go with it, and it ramps up the tension within the game, which is amazing. But it also keeps that momentum going. So like, by the time you as the wizard have just done your turn, where all you've done is cast Scorching Ray.
Then again, I was in the one of the campaigns, I was like this Japanese, like, I was Oni touched. So basically, like a demon, like a half demon, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
I love Onis. Like
and also I was a druid, because I'm like, turning into animals is pretty freaking awesome. So yeah. But also I have a bad habit of not always paying attention. He's like, dude, you could like turn into animals, and you'd like turn into a bear and shit, man. You're always like trying to like scrap with knives and stuff. I'm like, well, you say I have these, like, you say I'm like, I have kind of limited there. I don't want to, like, waste them. He's like, dude, just, we're in combat. Just do it. And I'm like, all right. So I started doing it more.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, I sort of, I play with that a lot with my players, though, in the whole, I know that you've got limited spells. So my home campaign, they're all level 11. So they have got access to a lot of spell slots and that sort of thing. So I know that when it comes to combat, they are very comfortable in just blasting out tons of magic. Which, when the game gets to that point, when you're a DM, you need to start throwing problems at them that require them to use the magic before they get to the combat. Because if you think about it in terms of the resource management side of D&D,
now sometimes it would be fun when I'd play that druid character. I would sometimes like turn into animals and try to, and would like infiltrate places. That would be fun. I enjoy that.
Yeah. Turn into a spider, crawl on the ceiling when no one's even gonna look. I mean, I wouldn't even have you roll for that.
Oh, I've rolled that a couple times. It was a lot of fun. Like I played a dog once, and we had a lot of fun, and we had a lot of fun milking that for humor.
Yeah, I mean, or the classic one of turning into a horse, having one of your party members sell you to someone, turn back into a guy, leave, you've got money.
I can't say I thought of that. That would have been fun, actually.
No,
I would have liked to do that. Dang it! Oh.
Well, we had one in my original game, where they found out. Yeah, they found out that one of the guys, it was like a feudal Japan, like samurai lord style guy, and he was really into falconry. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, because it's like that's such a cool like thing. It's very classically warrior cast hobby. So they find out that he's really into falconry, and they enter this falconry contest, and the druid is like, well, fuck it, I'm turning myself into like, turns himself into like whatever the biggest eagle he can is that isn't like a giant sized creature.
That's awesome.
So he is the falcon. So like they enter this falconry competition, and by the end of it, like this this warlord is like, I want to buy this bird. So he goes over to the party member to buy the druid from the party member. And they're like, wait, how long's left on my wild shape? And I'm like, maybe 10 minutes. And he's like, yeah, I sell him.
Mm-hmm.
He sells him, puts him in his cart, and then just leaves with him. And they're like, wait, when does wild shape run out again? I'm like, about now.
Oh, no. Well, I hope he got out of there without too much hassle. He's like, hey, sorry.
No, it was absolute chaos. It was amazing. He ended up having.
He turns back, and the Lord's like, "What the hell?"
That's what happened. Yeah, and he was. It was great. He ended up having to do. I think it's conjure woodland beasts. I think it's like a first or second. They basically just conjured a huge amount of pigeons.
Oh no!
Around the Lord, just being freak out, and then he's bolted. He just absolutely ran. But yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'll admit I did use that a couple times. Conjure woodland creatures.
Ooh.
Fun times.
It's a hell of a spell. I mean, there's a bunch of broken things you can do with druids, like the whole raptor storm thing, where it's just like, I summoned like a bunch of raptors, because they all have pack tactics, so they all get advantage when they're attacking the same guy.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I enjoy it. There's one character I'm hoping to play who's basically like if like Paul Bunyan was in like a gritty fantasy setting.
Paul Bunyan's the folk hero, right?
Yeah, with the axe. Yeah, he's the lumberjack. Yeah, I want to do that before too long.
Oh man,
it's literally called Paul, so might be laying it a little thick, but I'm like, yeah, it works.
Have you gone with like Goliath or something so you get the size?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know yet. I was thinking maybe barbarian, but I'm like, would that be right? Because
yeah, barbarian with a great axe. Great axe is a D12 as well, so that's a really good one.
Can you like class mix with like a rogue and an axe because he has like animals?
Yeah, 100%. Oh, I mean, if you're doing that, maybe ranger barbarian would be a good combo then, because then you get like the animal companion with being a ranger, because he had a giant bull, right?
Yeah, blue bull.
Yeah,
but he also has dogs. My version has dogs as well, like the. But yeah, anyway.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you can multi-class in D&D. That's pretty.
I mean, I know you can multi-class, but like I didn't know like how you could multi-class.
You talk to your DM, and you make sure that he's okay, that he or she is okay with the idea of multi-classing, because some of them can be kind of broken.
Now I did play a bard I did play a bard in another campaign because I'm like, I want to play a bard, and that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that a lot. Though he wasn't like a Scanlan type. He was more like this kind of socially awkward, kind of. But like, man, when you get him up on stage, though, dude rips it.
I absolutely love the idea of a socially awkward lore bard, because like a lore bard to me is like me and you. Which is nerds that like books.
Oh, yeah.
Like love collecting stories and stuff. It's just like I love that as a concept. No, my wife in our home game, she plays a College of Whispers bard, and she is an unbelievably sinister character. Really, really good.
She's sinister? Jeez,
dude. Rory, her character Rory is a monster when she gets going. I mean. So, College of Whispers bard has this ability to, if someone dies near them within a minute, they can do this thing called stealing their shadow, so that they can turn themselves into a duplicate of that person and immediately learn a little bit of knowledge from them.
Oh my god!
She doesn't have to be the one to kill them.
That's terrifying.
Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, but think of.
Are the other party members just like terrified of her? Character?
I don't think I don't think any of them are terrified of Rory, but like at the same time, Rory is extremely good at hiding who she really is. So I think if they got to know the real her a bit more, bear in mind this is a level 11 party. This is like we've been going for ages. She is just that much of a hides who she is from these people. So like if she really let Rory out, then yeah, I think they would probably be quite scared of who she is. I think the group paladin would potentially want to kill her, to be honest.
Fair enough, but
She's a
yeah,
problem.
no, I'm because when I play characters, I like to invert stuff. So I
Hmm.
like to kind of play with that a little bit. So yeah, my bard character was a little bit of a. He's basically like a socially awkward kind of not a weirdo. He was pretty normal, but he's basically like this like kind of shy. But like when you
Oh,
get
I
him
get
on
it.
a stage, like he just starts ripping it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I love that inversion of tropes as well. I mean, in the BookTube game that Thomas gosh, was it Thomas Roman? I can't remember his name. I genuinely just think of him as Thomas. But anyways, but in his BookTube D&D game, I played a goblin wizard called Merc.
Oh yeah.
You don't think goblins and wizards normally, so I thought that'd be really fun. But his backstory is kind of a joke on one of the classic D&D things. So like one of the classic D&D things that will happen is the party will just absolutely tear through a tribe of goblins or something, right?
Hmm.
And then adopt one, which we did. You know, we even did it in our game. But it's like you'll sort of just tear through this village of goblins, spare one of them, and sort of almost keep them as a party pet.
Oh
So
no.
that's Merc's backstory. Yeah, so Merc's backstory is that happened to him. He got kind of taken on board as the party pet, and rather than letting it slide, he just waited till one night when everyone was asleep and just started slitting throats. And
Oh.
the way that,
Oh
yeah, and
shit.
the way that you level up a wizard in D&D is they learn new spells,
Hmm.
and that always bothered the hell out of me because you're out in the wilderness traveling. How are you learning new spells? Well, for Merc, that is not his spell book. That is a stolen spell book from the wizard he slit the throat of and stole the hat and book from.
Oh
So he's
man.
not leveling up and learning new spells. He is decoding this wizard's spell book to get the spells.
Oh, very nice. I like that.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like it inverts the trope of having this um, very stupid, normally creature suddenly being an intelligence caster. But then it also completely gets rid of one of the D&D mechanics that bothers me, which is, how are you learning this stuff? There's no one teaching you. You're an academic class, and yet somehow you're learning.
Though, hey, you could like go to the city and find somebody.
You could, and that is one of the ways that wizards can get spells. They can
That's
buy
how my
spell scrolls
druid
and
character like completed his training because like his dad was a druid, but then he got murdered,
Mhm.
and he's like, well, shit. So, yeah,
need to go find a new druid.
yeah, pretty much.
Needs to go to the swamp and find his Yoda.
Oh yeah, I think my favorite moment from that that Japanese one is
Mhm.
we basically snuck into these human trafficker. We were trying to stop this human trafficking thing, and we're like, okay,
Mhm.
how are we gonna do this? And I'm like, okay, so why don't we actually pretend to be the like trafficker guys and like just walk in and just take them all out? And they're
Yeah.
like, all right, I just threw that out. I didn't think they'd go along with it. I didn't think they were gonna go along with it, and it was just it was beautiful. I loved it. It was like my favorite moment from that campaign. It
Nice.
was a lot of
Oh
fun.
man. And it's weird to think that like those games and those moments, unless they're a recorded one like Critical Role or Dimension 20, they exist in that exact moment in the group imagination, and that's it.
Yeah, that's why I'm
That's
kind of hesitant
amazing.
to like share stories of my D&D campaign because it's like, man, like, I mean, I'm not a veteran, but like, I kind of get it. You come back and you're like, how do you talk about this with other people? I hate to
Yeah,
say that because I'm not
dude.
trying to compare myself to like a veteran of a war, but it's like there's a lot more lighthearted, but still, it's like, damn, dude, like, how do you explain this to other people?
Yeah, I mean, unless someone, I thought you meant a veteran of D&D, but like that's kind of who you go. That's kind of the person you need to talk to is people who also play. I mean, dude, if you think players are bad when they get talking to each other, like DMs, we're worse. We're worse. When we start talking about like I tell that story about Sam just like demolishing that encounter. I'll say that if I say that to the right DM, he'll be like, oh my god, that reminds me of this, and he'll just go on to a story, and it'll just be, just. I mean, I was a player in one of my players DM'd a Halloween one shot for us, and dude, I was the problem player at the table. I was the one causing headaches, and I do not regret it. Oh man, that was great though. Actually, she made little candy pumpkins.
Mm-hmm.
So like they were the bad guys. So
Mm-hmm.
after you killed a bad guy, you got to eat a little candy pumpkin. Which, you know, what is D&D other than a reason to hang out with your buddies and eat too many snacks?
Yeah, and it's also funny when like your characters kind of adapt because like there's sometimes you start with a character and you have a particular idea of a character, and
Yeah,
then like it kind of changes a little bit,
I
as it
think
goes
that's
on.
I think that's an important thing to have happen though, because it's
Because
I
like
think if you
in the
yeah
Japanese one, my druid character was gonna be kind of like this, not stoic, but he was kind of gonna be like this kind of somewhat broody kind of badass. But he kind of turned into sort of like not socially awkward, but kind of awkward, kind of bumbling guy, and
mm,
it worked. It worked because he lived out in the
yeah
country
for
when
sure.
he
I mean,
was. His backstory was he lived out in like the woods with his dad for a long
yeah.
time.
Well, I think with let me ask you something. When it comes to writing, are you someone who plots stuff out a lot?
You mean like when I create a
When you
character or
when you're
just
writing stories, when you're writing stories.
it depends. I try to I want to give the players I've only DM'd the one time, but I want to give my players.
I don't mean for D&D. I mean when it comes to actually like when you're writing stories and that sort of thing.
Oh, I generally get kind of involved with the backstory because I like doing that stuff. I like coming up with that stuff. But like plotting out the character story, uh, no. I mean, I don't want to, I always don't want to like, interject in with like DMs and stuff. But I will say, like, hey, this is something he might do. This is something he might want to get to before too long. And, DMs are
No,
usually like, that's cool.
no. I don't mean that. I mean when you're writing stories like novels and books like that kind of
Oh,
stories. Yeah,
oh. So you're asking if I'm a plotter or pantser, basically.
yeah, yeah.
It's weird. I'm kind of. I've realized I'm kind of a pantser, but like I like to plot out chapter by chapter before I.
Mm.
So like I'll write a little
So
bit, then I'll plot out some chapters, and I'll write a little bit. So I kind of do like a weird mix of both.
I mean, I think most people are that. But so my point I was getting at with that is, if you think of like when you sit down, even if you've got some really good bullet points or something for that chapter that you've planned out, if you're writing it and suddenly you feel like, oh, maybe that won't work, and you go off script and you change a bunch of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that's you. That's just you. That's one person having that happen. The second it's at a D&D table, you've got every other player, the dice, and the DM all having that same impetus to the story. So if the story's shifting, and you're trying to be really rigid with a character, it's not going to work, and it could potentially make the story bad or make the party not have such a great time. Whereas what you did, where you thought your character was going to go one direction, and then through the story progressing and you feeling out this character, it went this direction. Like that is the way to do it. That's the way to go. I mean, if you try and be super rigid with my character will be this, and it's like, okay, that's awesome, but then your character won't have an arc, and they're going to feel like a cardboard cutout of a person.
Now, I mean, with Archie it was a little different. I had a much clearer idea of that character, so he, you know, so I'm not
But
saying
like
he
you said,
doesn't.
like,
I'm not saying like he didn't change, not as much as, but like he
no,
didn't
but like,
like he didn't change quite as much as like my perception of the character anyway didn't change as much as. But then again, I already had like a clearer idea of what that character was. So, I mean, he does change though. Like I'm not saying like comes kind of this like not badass, but he's still kind of this he's still running around he gets more skilled. I'll put it that way.
do you mean your book character gets more skilled, or
No. I meant
the D&D character?
I played my bard character that I played became.
Oh, no, I was talking more about your one in the Japanese game where you intended him to you intended him to be
Yeah,
this like very stoic character, and by the end of it you realized he that wouldn't work,
he's
and
a
you
little more of
changed
this. He
it.
was a bit more of a not a goofball, but he was a little more goofy than
Mm.
kind of more like kind of wrapping it up, kind of bringing it back to Discworld a little bit. He's kind of like Carrot a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Except he's not.
I like
He
that.
kind of turned into like a carrot-like character. Except he's not. What's the word I'm looking for that doesn't sound mean? Not as naive. I'll say that. He's not as naive at times, but he is very much that. Oh, fish out of water, and he's kind of a goofball. That
Yeah.
kind of turned into that, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah.
Oh damn. Are we good to leave it here? Sorry, I just realised it's 6:45 my time, and I ain't eaten yet.
Oh, that's fair. Well, yeah, we could probably end it off here, but yeah, no, yeah, I'll just wrap it up here. I've had a great time talking with you, though.
It's been so much fun.
I was about to say, I'm probably gonna grab lunch myself in a little bit, so that probably works out actually. But
okay, sweet. I like that we bounced around to pretty much every single one of my interests as well. So that's always fun.
D&D, Discworld, Joe Abercrombie.
Anyway, little bit of Minecraft chatter.
Yeah. But yeah, this was fun, man. I enjoyed this a lot.
Same, dude. I'd be happy to do it again at some point.
Yeah, indeed. I was like, oh man, maybe if I do another Discworld Files, I'll get you on. Maybe we'll see.
Oh, dude, I'm in. I'm absolutely in. Let me know which one you'll be doing it for, and I'll give myself a Cliff Notes thing so I know which one's which.
Fair enough. Anyway, before I wrap these up, I always ask if you have any social media.
Might be going again. Wow, I mean, somewhere
that was a whole journey through the anime.
Yeah. So somewhere out there in the Devonshire countryside is a sheep chewing on an internet cable just to make our life that little bit harder.
But anyway, what I was saying before you cut out there for a bit, if you have any social media, feel free to share it.
Yeah, so I've got one currently. I'll use that hand. I've got one currently. It's Will McCloughlin. It's the same as my name that I've got on here. Will McCloughlin on Instagram. I update it with how my journey's going as a writer. Often that'll be like a word count update or how it's going editing. I've got a few short stories on there. They're all around 1,000 words mark, which incidentally is about the perfect length for if you're on the toilet and just wanted to scroll through a story. It's great pooping material. And yeah, that's it at the moment. I want to at some point start a BookTube. I mean, there's so many of you guys, and every single one.
Yeah, we're all just running around. We're like little sheep.
Yeah, you guys, you're all like chill with each other and having each other on each other's channels and stuff. And I mean, the fantasy book community is unbelievably welcoming and so friendly. It doesn't make sense. It's the only online community like it that I'm aware of. Everything else seems to be toxic. We're all here just having a chill time with our buddies, and it's lovely.
Oh yeah, well,
So, yeah,
I had a lot of fun, and
I had a great time too.
Hopefully we can do this again at some point. This would be
dude.
good time.
I want to be on for one of these Terrapratid discussions.
All right, I will definitely keep you in mind. Keep you in mind. Do it.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Especially if you get to Feet of Clay.
I'll keep that in mind.
If you're unsure of which one to have me in on Feet of Clay or possibly Snuff because it's on brand.
There's goblins in it.
Oh hell yeah.
All right. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this. Until next time.
Bye.